The NXT Women's Championship Tournament brackets have been announced. WWE considers one of their wrestlers a top player, and an AEW wrestler announces a big challenge for 2024. All this and more on the main event. Hello, welcome to news video 2 of the day. We start with some news about NXT. Now, if you remember the WWE draft, Indy Hartwell was called up whilst currently being NXT Women's Champion and also injured, but they don't like to talk about that. And she ended up vacating the title on NXT, to which there was a big brawl between all the women and we didn't know what was coming from there. But now we do, as an NXT Women's Championship tournament has been announced. It's going to be culminating at Battleground this month. It'll be an 8-woman tournament, and on one side of the brackets we have 2 singles matches, one pitting Gigi Dolan against Tiffany Stratton and one pitching Roxanne Perez against JC Jane. The other side of the bracket has revealed that Lyra Valkyria is fighting Kiana James and Fallon Henley will be taking on Cora Jade. I think there is one way this tournament can go, and I feel like it's going to be Roxanne Perez versus Cora Jade. After Roxy didn't get called up in the draft, which I think was a shock to everybody, and also Cora didn't get called up, I think it's time for them to revisit their rivalry and nip it in the bud with a title match. And as much as I'd love Roxy to win this one, I do think this is going to go to Cora. She put in all the work when she was a babyface, and then when she turned heel, apart from a breaking skateboard that shouldn't have broke that quickly, she has done absolutely fantastic work, and it will be great to give her her dues and give her the title. I think with the brackets as well, they're kind of teasing 2 big matches. So we get Gigi Dolan versus JC Jane 3 because we really need that. And we also get Kiana James versus Fallon Henley because obviously they're all in rivalries with each other. An underdog star I do think would be Tiffany Stratton here. I think she deserves to win the title. I think she's wonderful. Why didn't you just put the title on her in the triple threat match if you were gonna call Indy up and you knew about it? WWE? But I can't wait till NXT to see how this tournament pans out, because as obvious as it may look, it is NXT, and this is Shawn Michaels booking this show. This could go all over the place. Next, WWE is reportedly considering one of their superstars as a top player, and that superstar is Damian Priest. No, I'm not shocked either. PW Insider is reporting that Priest has received a lot of praise backstage after his match with Bad Bunny at Backlash. One source noted that following his performance at Backlash and all of his performances in recent weeks of Raw, it's really put him into a good position where they are considering him as a top guy. I mean, that's a great thing for Damian Priest because the guy is pure talent. I remember seeing him at a Ring of Honor show in Doncaster and he was absolutely fantastic. And he's not really disappointed on the main roster. He's never had really a bad match. He's never been the worst wrestler in the match. He's always been very solid. He gets his job done and he's really good at playing the character he's playing. He's fantastic in the Judgment Day as kind of their big brute. He does deserve to have a big push as a top guy. I'm really surprised it hadn't come yet. But if he's like the breakout to become a world champion from the Judgment Day, I'm totally fine with that. And we all saw his match with Bad Bunny. He was phenomenal. He really worked that and he made Bad Bunny look like $1 million. Another name has also received a lot of praise after Backlash, and I bet you can't guess who it is. It's Omos, and rightfully so. His match with Seth Rollins was easily his best match yet in WWE, which it's crazy because he's been there nearly 4 years, if not 4. But obviously it's credit to Rollins as well because Rollins really made him look good. I mean, Omos has been putting in the work. He's such a likable guy in interviews. He is a very knowledgeable guy and he's willing to learn apparently. And to be honest, his match against Brock Lesnar, he was fantastic in. So I'm not really surprised he's getting praised for getting better and better because he genuinely is. He's come a long way from when he first broke away from AJ Styles. So well done, Priest, and well done, Omos. I'm proud of you. Speaking of Backlash though, there's kind of some sad news, I guess, about Puerto Rico and WWE. It doesn't look like WWE is willing to go back anytime soon. It's been noted that WWE was paid $1.5 million by the Puerto Rico tourist company for Backlash. Big Dave Meltzer reported on the Wrestling Observer newsletter. The thing is, they're only going to come if they get paid to come, so that's up to how much a tourist board wants to pay. And usually, when it comes to this type of thing, everything is different. Generally speaking, if they want to bring you in, they're not going to bring you in every year. They're going to use their money to bring in another act. They're going to use their money on another act next year. It won't always be WWE. For them to do a pay-per-view generally, and London is the exception because when they go to London, they're not getting paid by a tourism board. They just feel like it's time to do it. But for them to come and do this, they're going to have to be paid. They will go down there and do a house show, but for them to do a pay-per-view, they're going to want $1.5 million or whatever. That was what the rate was here. Now, I don't think it's a shock that they won't be coming back to Puerto Rico anytime soon, especially for a big event. I mean, that crowd should have sold it to them. WWE has only really started doing these international events, even though it's not really that international by them going to Puerto Rico. There's many other places for them to go at the moment. I mean, they could go to Japan, they could go to Mexico, they could go to Australia again. There's inner parts of Europe they could go to. There's plenty for them to explore, and they're not going to want to cram all of these events into one year and then just repeat them the next year. They do need some pay-per-views over in America at this rate. I mean, look at it. We've just had Puerto Rico. We're about to have Saudi Arabia, and then we're going to have the UK. They definitely need to be in America for the next pay-per-view after that. But as we know, some cities do use a tourism board to book these shows. It's got nothing to do with really WWE reaching out. It's about them being offered the chance to come in and do the show. If Puerto Rico want to bring them back, Puerto Rico will bring them back. Be sure of it. So don't be too disheartened if you are from Puerto Rico and watching this, hearing that, you know, they're not planning to come back anytime soon. You did a good job. You were the best crowd for a long time. Well done. I feel like this video is me just sticking thumbs up and telling everybody that they've done well. You've done well getting this far in the video. Congratulations. Finally, an AEW superstar has announced that they have set themselves a big challenge for 2024, and that wrestler is Darby Allin. Now, if you don't know much about Darby Allin, where the hell have you been? He's one of the biggest stars in AEW. Wait, you might not watch AEW. That's fair. He's also occasionally seen as part of the Nitro Circus. Now, if you don't know what this is, it's a traveling carnival that mixes like Jackass-style stunts with vehicles and big explosions. So that's not really a big surprise that Darby Allin's there, really, is it? I mean, like, the guy is the next Jeff Hardy, just hopefully doesn't get into as much trouble as Jeff Hardy. He has been speaking to TMZ recently, and he's announced that in 2024, he plans to climb Mount Everest. You know, that giant mountain. I couldn't do it. Comment down below if you could climb Mount Everest. But this would be interesting for Darby Allin. I mean, he is a thrill seeker, and apparently there's no bigger thrill than hitting the top of Mount Everest and getting the view. If Darby wants to do it, let him do it. If Tony Khan gives him the time off, which to be honest he kind of deserves, go and climb. It also makes me think that if Darby's going to climb Mount Everest, he's not going to be winning the Fatal 4-Way match for the AEW World title at Double or Nothing. I know he could win it and then drop it, but AEW, apart from when CM Punk holds a title, always likes to have quite a long title reign, and one, MJF's hasn't been massively long. I feel like they'd want to keep that title on Darby Allin. I like how I'm thinking this long ahead when 2024 is still, I don't know, 7 months away. But good luck to Darby Allin if you do attempt to do it. I mean, the thumbs are back up, and that'll do it for the news today. Thank you so much for watching the video. If you've not watched the previous news video, I will pop it down there. And remember to like the videos and drop a comment about your opinions on the news. And remember to hit that subscribe button. We're pushing on that 1,000 followers right now, and that would be awesome because I've got some big things planned for when we finally get there. But thank you again. I've been Toby King, and I'll see you in the main event.